All right, welcome folks to the Office of Undergraduate Research, our UROP, the Undergraduate Research Opportunity Program orientation. My name is Dr. Annie Isabel Fukushima. I'm the Associate Dean of Undergraduate Studies. Usually you probably have received letters or emails from me, but in collaboration with Cindy, who's actually, I would like to say actually boss for today. Usually Cindy runs a UROP program, but I run the Office of Undergraduate Research. I love hanging out with you all, getting to know the kind of research you're doing. We have some amazing projects that you all are working on, as well as amazing mentors, as well as I'd like to introduce you to the team. So Cindy, if you can go ahead.
Oh, I'm Cindy Greaves. I'm Associate Director in the Office of Undergraduate Research. I have been running the UROP program for many years now. So any questions you have about UROP, any of us can answer, but I'm here to help you also.
Yes, and when Cindy sends an email, you probably should respond, okay? We'll go ahead and have the rest of the team introduce themselves. Yeah, why don't you come on up? And that way you can have folks.
Hi, I'm Shelley Parker. I do the events at OUR, so the education series and the symposia. So if you have any questions about any of those, you can contact me.
Hi, everybody. My name is Angie Aleva. I'm an academic program coordinator here, and I am the point of contact for the summer program, undergraduate research for SPUR.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jennifer Santiago. I am the point of contact for the Early Exploration Scholars Program that just started this spring semester. I also handle some of the scholarship opportunities that we offer at OUR.
And the office is hiring leaders, and we always hire leaders every semester. For those of you that are in your third year, it might be something you might want to do if you're interested in being an ambassador for campus-wide efforts for undergraduate research. So great. Yeah. So one of the things that I really love about this opportunity and what we know about undergraduate research is that undergraduate research helps you to make decisions about your careers. It also, what we know about the students that participate in our UROP programs, you're more likely to graduate in 4 years, as well as have meaningful relationships with faculty that helps you to determine what you're going to do in your careers. Yeah. And so the office has been running since 1987. We've been supporting students since then. And this year we are growing the number of students that we fund directly, money in hand, to do research to 675 students. And so we're growing the students. We support students across the 18 colleges. Many of you are working with faculty that are in specific disciplines, but if you were to just talk to a neighbor or get to know somebody across the room, you're going to find that folks who are doing research on this campus are doing anything from writing novels to working in things that you would traditionally understand as research in STEM, doing interviews and so forth. So the kind of research that you all are doing is really awesome. You're also part of the university is considered a Research One university, which means we are the flagship institution here in the state of Utah for research efforts that are happening. And you are part of that, working with some widely regarded faculty. I myself am a faculty as well at the U, and so I do get to also mentor students sometimes. But I've been really privileged to work with the office here. So you've already had a chance to meet our team. We also have leaders who work for the office. These are ambassadors. And so you'll learn a little bit more about some of the opportunities and the ways you can engage with these leaders. They do things from our IRB specialists, as well as run Funding Fridays. So if you have friends who want to apply for opportunities like you, send them our way, as well as they're doing presentation workshops, as well as have drop-in time if you just need support for what you're doing. The staff are always here to support you, so please do connect with the office if you ever need some kind of support. The mission of the Office of Undergraduate Research is from admission to graduation. The units of the Office of Undergraduate Studies at the University of Utah provide every student with exceptional educational experience. So that is the mission of undergraduate studies. We are housed in Central under undergraduate studies, reporting up to the provost. And our mission in the Office of Undergraduate Research is to facilitate and promote undergraduate student, faculty, collaborative research, and creative works in all disciplines. And so I talked a little bit about our commitments of fostering student success, sharing knowledge, and promoting education. And you'll see and get to learn, many of you have already learned about some of our office's offerings, but you'll know, and you've heard it from the office staff titles, but from things such as educational events, symposia, journal publication, we have multiple grants and awards that we offer. So I want to welcome our folks who've joined online, as well as welcome all of you who are in the room. This is really awesome. Like, I get to see all of the kind of amazing research that you all do, from the entry point to the presentations, and we get to hear from some of you. We also learn when some of you get into medical school or get into various graduate programs here at the U. If you go off to other programs, we don't necessarily know all the information. So we do love when you keep us informed of your amazing goings and what you've been up to. We do have every spring the Outstanding Undergraduate Research Award ceremony. If you're interested in being selected for this competitive award for your college, please do connect with your mentor and ask them to nominate you. It is important that they nominate you for this. You can't self-nominate. It has to come from a faculty mentor, as well as we provide research advising, as well as many other things. And so we know that undergraduate research matters for all of you. When we see, just even looking at the data of how our students perform to what happens to them, our students are more likely to get into graduate school. They're more likely to land jobs or make determinants about the kind of jobs they want to get into. I know that if you were to talk to any of your mentors, many of them ended up as faculty because they did undergraduate research themselves. They, at some point in their journey, started off just like you as an undergraduate student. And so this is actually really important, the kind of things that you're doing. If you decide you want to go into industry or get a job instead of graduate school, we know that it's also helped students to build networks for those career decisions. And so I just wanted to welcome you all. I love, as some of you saw, kind of getting a little bit of a glimpse into what you're working on. I know many of your mentors in various ways. I tend to work on the faculty front. Your faculty are going to go through an orientation like you go through an orientation as well. And so if they have questions, we'll give them information. But today is really for you to learn what you need to know so you can be successful this semester, as well as to answer questions that you may have. And so I'm going to now punt it over to Cindy's. So while I'm generally running the office, Cindy's boss for Europe. So please, if she asks you a question, sends you an email, please respond. Also know that if something happens where you're just not sure, something's going awry, and you're like, this seems weird, or I don't know what to do, we help students connect with a wide range of campus resources. So know that if you feel like it's something you can't ask your mentors or your faculty mentors, you can always turn to the office. We're actually here to support all of you. And so if there's something that comes up, there's no problem or question that's too small. We're here to support you. So I'm going to invite Cindy up, who's going to run you through all the business. Yeah.
So again, I just want to echo Annie, congratulations to you all. You all did something really hard. You wrote a proposal, you had to submit it, it went through a review process, and you all luckily were awarded funding for this next semester. So by raise of hands for people who are in person, how many are returning? This is your second semester of UROP. Okay, awesome. We're going to go over some of the same information, except there's new dates for spring. So we'd like you all to pay attention to the dates and the information. Again, for anybody that was joining late, these slides will be sent to you. Actually, we'll have this orientation posted on our website. So you can catch all that information again if you need it. Okay, so we're going to go over some of the expectations of being in our UROP program. On our UROP webpage, which is under our.utah.edu/UROP, you can find the current scholars resources. This will have everything that you'll need for this semester. So our program is a program where we pay you to do, our office pays you to do research with your faculty mentor. So you will all be receiving a $1,200 taxable stipend for up to 120 hours of work during the spring semester. And like all the renewals, no, you are eligible to get 2 semesters of UROP funding. It doesn't have to be consecutive. It can just be any time during your career up here on campus. So for you new students, if you want to do research through UROP during the summer, the next deadline is March 8th. You would just take your proposal that you wrote this semester and then just update it for what you would plan to do for the next semester. And then that also had the fall date. So just a little overview about UROP. Like Annie said, if we send any emails to you, if I specifically send you any email, it's because of your funding or a requirement, or so please, we just ask that you correspond in a timely manner from any emails. We try not to send you too many emails. So most of them are important that we do send to you. You are to conduct the research project under the supervision of your mentor. That was proposed in the application. If something changes with your mentor, please notify our office. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to lose your funding. We just need to come up with a plan to see what the changes would be. Any substantial deviations from your original project must be discussed with our office immediately. Now, this isn't just standard, oh, we're waiting a couple days, we needed to wait on something to get mailed to us, you know, you had a little bit of a hiccup. That's fine, that's standard when it comes to research. Substantial deviations might be your professor is leaving the campus, or the project is no longer happening and you want to go to a totally different subject. So those are the things that you'll need to let us know about. And again, we'll work with you to figure out what it is that we need to do so that you can continue your research. But please let your mentor know if there's any issues, and then let us know also. You are to obtain and maintain certifications as needed for human subject research, animal research, laboratory and other environmental health, and HIPAA. Now, these are all things that your mentor should let you know. We are not going to know what certifications you need, so please check with your mentor if there's anything that you need to make sure you get done before you start your research. And then we ask that you support the Office of Undergraduate Research and the dissemination of your research. So we have logos and images that on our website. So if you make posters or any kind of presentations, it's really typical for students who receive funding, have a funding source, to acknowledge them. So please do that whenever you show your work to others. The UROP agreement is, first of all, attend mandatory orientation. Congratulations, you're all here. Step 1 is done. So as many of you know, you'll be hired as temporary part-time employees as an undergraduate research assistant to receive your stipend. With the exception of students who are returning from fall, everybody should have sent in their new employee information form to Elena in HR. If you haven't done that already, if you haven't filled that out, if Elena hasn't contacted you, you need to do that now. If you are not a current employee on campus, you'll need to go through that process. You'll need to fill out an I-9 so we can get you hired. If you are a current employee, the only way that HR will know that is if you send her, Elena, that new hire personal information form. So if you are a current employee, all you have to do is send her the form. She'll be able to automatically hire you for our office. If you're not a current employee, you'll have to take a couple extra steps. The all hiring needs to be done by January 15th. This is so that there won't be any delay in your you receiving your UROP stipend. And if anybody has any questions, please, just let us know afterwards if you have any questions about the hiring process. Anybody here have any questions? No? Okay. So you'll receive the $1,200 stipend from January 16th to April 15th. I'll go over the schedule of when your paydays will be. And then you will get 2 paychecks every month. We get paid. You'll get paid the same day that the university gets paid. It's the 7th and the 22nd of every month. If one of those days falls on a holiday or a weekend, you get paid the Friday before. If you have another job on campus doing the same research as your UROP research, you can't be getting paid twice. So please take note of that and let us know if that's the case. If you're working on a project and you're already getting paid, you can't be receiving UROP payment also. So please let me know if that's the case, and we can work something out. Either you can defer it or we just cancel it. You get it another semester. So here is the UROP pay schedule. Please take note of this. Your first paycheck will be on February 7th. It won't be before that. So please don't email me asking when you're going to get your paycheck. It's going to be February 7th, and you'll receive 6 throughout the semester, the last one being April 22nd. We highly recommend, and so does the HR payroll office at the University of Utah, to set up direct deposit. If you don't set up direct deposit, your check will be mailed to the address that you have in CIS. If there's some issue with your mailbox or it not getting to you, you'll have to pay the stop payment fee to get it reissued. So the university highly, highly recommends that everybody gets direct deposit set up. Because your first day technically is the 16th, if you are not a current employee, you may not have access to this direct deposit until that 16th. And then also because that's payroll processing day, you may have to wait a couple days. So The way you get to your direct deposit form is you go to our website, the our.utah.edu/UROP, and we have this link on the far right, current researchers, current scholars, and then this is the page that will have your direct deposit information. This is the page that you'll want to go to because it will have everything that you'll need. Just maybe bookmark it or something. So please sign up for direct deposit. If you already have direct deposit signed up with another job, you don't need to worry about it. You can also go into CIS to double check to make sure your direct deposit is correctly set up. We've had students not get their checks, and it's been really sad when they've had to pay a fee to get it reissued to them. So just a heads up, if you have already sent Elena the new hire information form, hopefully she has already contacted you to let you know your next steps. If you haven't heard from her, please check your email address or come and talk to me. Everybody has to sign the Employee Intellectual Property Assignment Agreement. This was a link that was in your award email. If you're already an employee, you've probably already done it. You only have to do it once. Same with two-factor authentication. Everybody at the U, if you are an employee, you'll have to sign up for this. You'll have information. Usually payroll sends that once they say, congratulations, you're now an employee. They'll give you the link and show you how to sign up for this. It is required by everybody. I mean, we all have to do it. So with the UROP stipend, when we hire you, when we set up your hiring, we set it up so that you will receive those equal payments throughout the semester. There are no time cards. Nobody here uses Chronos. There's no in and out punches. Just to make sure that that's clear. Again, it's set up as a stipend model through payroll, equal payments. So because of that, we ask, because there's no Chronos to keep track of your hours, we ask that you devise a schedule with your UROP mentor. And this can be in any form that you want. I'm going to show you in a minute a template that we have, just so you can keep track of the 120 hours that you will be doing over the course of the semester. And then this should be in writing and signed by both you and your mentor and then saved away. We do not need a copy of it. If you go back to our current scholars resources page, you'll see that we have a UROP scholar tab and UROP schedule tab, and it will take you to this type of form. You can use any type of template that you need, but keep track of the dates and then also the work you're doing and then the number of hours. And this will help you to keep track of how much you're putting in and if you get your 120 hours. So like I said, we do not need a copy of that schedule, but if there's any problems that arise, we may have to ask for that. If your mentor is concerned about any of the progress that you're making, we may request a copy of that schedule. If you do not document the schedule or fail to meet the schedule, you may be dismissed from the program and forfeit the remainder of your UROP stipend. That doesn't happen very often. So just make a schedule, just make a plan with your mentor so you know what you're going to be doing for the semester. Keep a copy for your own records. So I will check in with your mentors every month. And this is really just to make sure that you're working on your project, you're progressing, and that there's no issues happening. And if there's anything going on, if you don't show up, if they have any concerns, they'll usually let us know, and then we can reach out to you to resolve the problem. So like I said, if the mentor indicates there's any issues with your work, you'll receive an email from our office. Please, please, please let us know at the beginning if there's any problems going on. We'd love to take care of any issues sooner than later. Again, if something happens and we don't know about it, you've stopped working, but you're still getting money, it's really sad if we have to get that money back because you didn't do any work. So please let us know ahead of time. And you can also connect with Dr. Fukushima if you feel like you need to, if there's a bigger issue that arises, we can set up an appointment to figure that out. So failure to meet any of those UROP expectations and policies may result in forfeiture of the UROP stipend. We hope that doesn't happen to anyone. If you need to withdraw for whatever reasons, please just let us know. If you've done any of the work during the semester after your start date, you will get paid for that work. But then moving forward, if you need to withdraw, please let us know and we'll just cancel your employment. There's no harm done. but we just need to know about it. So please contact either our@utah.edu, or you can contact me. You all have my email, c.greaves@utah.edu. So now that was more information about our stipend and how to get paid and everything. And now that you're a participant of UROP, there are some requirements. And so I'm going to turn the time over to Shelley so that she can talk about our education series.
Okay, we have 8 education series presentations this semester. 6 of them are on the website right now. The last 2 for the end of the semester will be up there in a week or 2. You're required to attend 2, 1 live, they're all Zoom. So 1 live while it's happening, and then 1 you can watch recorded. And all of them we have recorded for the last couple of years. So if you look at that webpage, there's a lot of different subjects that you can listen to, and they're only an hour, so they're not really time consuming. And then you need to fill out an evaluation form to get credit for attending them. So make sure you do that when you attend it live and when you watch it recorded. The first one is, I think, February 6th, and it's a mentor panel. So it's faculty mentors, 4 of them, and they'll talk about how to work with, how they work with students, how students approach them for different things, how they can help maybe do letters of reference for you, stuff like that. So that'll be a really useful one.
I think there's like over 60 videos.
Yeah.
In the online content, so there's quite a bit. It's from things such as if you are applying for graduate school, if you are looking at how to do a literature review, you've never done it before. There's a range of content, so I would encourage you to just check it out. You may find that there's other videos and resources beyond the 2 that you need to attend for OUR.
Yeah, and these are open to anybody on campus. So anybody in your classes, your friends, anybody can attend it. Out of experience, I would not wait till the end of the semester to do this. Find some that are interesting to you, put them on your schedule, and then do them. If you are going to be renewing for a future semester and you haven't done these education series, you won't be eligible. So this is one thing that you have to do. It is a requirement of UROP, your participation in UROP. So please make sure you get them done. And fill out the evaluation form. That's the only way we can know that you have attended. Question?
So is that, are they all on Zoom, or are they all offered on Zoom?
So currently, right, so every semester we have new ones. And so right now we have 8 or 9 that are going to be on Zoom, but they are scheduled for certain days at certain times. You can go attend them live, and we want you all to at least attend one of those. All the other ones are just recordings. I think Shelley's putting in the chat the website, and I'll give you a list of all the ones that we have available. Does that clear? So yes, they're all in Zoom. Nothing is in person. Yep, they're either recorded or you can go to a live session. Another question.
Where do you find the evaluation?
It's on that same web page. Yep, it's all on the same web page. And once you go into one of the events, I think it also has a link there. It's in a couple different places. And the evaluation is not long. It's just tell us what session you went to, what workshop you went to, and then give us your feedback. And it's really helpful to get your feedback so that we can know what students are wanting, what they need, if it was helpful, if it wasn't helpful. These evaluations are really helpful for us. Any other questions? The form is just an online form. You just push submit, and then we get a copy of it. Another thing that everybody is required to do is to submit the UROP final report. Now, this is just a quick form that will take you maybe 5 or 10 minutes to fill out. You don't have to do this until the end of the semester. This is something that I will send you at the end of the semester just to remind you that this is something that needs to be taken care of. For anybody that's a renewal, you'll know that it doesn't take very long. It also gives us feedback on how your semester went and what we can do to improve. This is also another thing. Reminder, it's due by the last day of class, and you'll get some reminders, but please keep that in mind that this is also something that's required. We also have the Undergraduate Research Symposium. So every student that comes through UROP is required to present at least one time before you graduate. And we want you to present at our Undergraduate Research Symposium. Has anybody here presented at any of the symposiums that we've had? Okay, there's a few of you that have. So the next symposium is April 9th. The spring symposium is our biggest symposium. We take up all of the Union building. It's all in person, and you can present your work to the university community, other students. It's a really fun and exciting event. And we do posters. You can do oral presentations, performances.
And again, we do require that you present at least once before you graduate. And the registration deadline is March 17th. So anybody who's new this semester, if you're not ready to present, we also have a summer symposium, and then we also have a virtual symposium in the fall. So you can, to fulfill this requirement, you can present at any of those. I will say that the spring one is the biggest. It's the most excitingest. We have the most students attend. And so that's really a great event to participate in. So before you graduate. Question?
I'm also in my master's thesis that I'm graduating in the spring. What's your direct event? So people like me that just get I'd be ready to present in March, or what I do in the summer or right after.
Whether or not you're ready or not to present, I would talk with your mentor, see if that is something that you can put a presentation together. This is a good environment to have it be your first presentation, kind of low barrier. So I think if you have a semester's worth of work, you'll probably be prepared. You could put a presentation together.
Most presentations are works in project progress. So you'll find that most faculty are oftentimes presenting on research that isn't always complete. It's something that's happening over time. And so I think it's pretty standard that it's not always like this is a done product and this is what I'm presenting. So don't worry about that. We'll be doing some workshops as well to help you prepare if you'd like to get some feedback. One of our leaders hosts presentation workshops, so we can actually have your poster looked at, as well as you can also get some feedback if you need talking points. That's the one thing, if you do poster, I always recommend students do talking points, because you don't want to just read your poster while you're standing in front of it. But there's other forms that you can do that Cindy has up there, from doing a presentation. We've had students do grants. We've lived, so you name it, it's your time to experiment, go wild.
Yeah. And again, your research does not have to be complete. It can be in progress, and you can present at all of our symposiums. You can, it helps with your public speaking. It helps, your resume building. Did we have another question?
If there is if this is their second semester and they've already presented, do they need to do it again?
No, if this is your second semester, you only need to present one time. Registration will be open. It's just to register. You don't have to submit anything just yet. It's just register to get your spot.
And your abstract.
And your abstract. Basically, if you want to do an oral presentation, let us know why you want to do an oral presentation over a poster presentation. We get a lot more attendance at the poster presentations. That's heads up. That's what our past history has shown us. But if you do want to do an oral presentation, you just have to fill it out when you register. And so poster presentation is in the poster session. All the posters are lined up in the ballroom. You stand by your poster for the duration of the program, or the duration of that session. The oral presentation it's limited. You're usually in a room with maybe 4 other presenters. It's a PowerPoint presentation, and you have about 15 minutes to present your work. You are in the front of the room presenting. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Highly recommend the spring symposium, but if it doesn't work out, you can do it at any of the other ones during the course of the year. Like, again, I said the fall symposium is virtual, so that's a little bit different. It doesn't give you that in-person experience. Just a few more events that we have. Research on Capitol Hill. Anybody here going to research on Capitol Hill, participating in it? Maybe not. So every year we take 25 students to the Capitol. This is an event that we do with Utah State University. Students get to present to their legislators. So we already have our students for this year. We're going to be going in just a couple weeks. This is open to the public, but just so you know, we do it every year. So if next year you want to take your research and go talk to your state legislator, usually we open this up October 1st, and then we select students to go. But if anyone's interested and wants to know what the event is like, come join us at the Capitol on the 18th. SPUR program, I'm going to let Angie come up and talk to you about our summer program for undergraduate research.
Hi, everyone. So yes, SPUR, Summer Program for Undergraduate Research. It is a nationally competitive opportunity to work with a faculty member from the University of Utah. So it is 10 weeks. It'll run May 22nd through August 1st. It's roughly about 35 to 40 hours a week that you will be putting in. So equivalent to a full-time job. It does include a $5,000 stipend that will be dispersed throughout the 10 weeks. It has on-campus housing for those who need it, as well as you will retain your U-Card benefits. And so, like I said, this is a nationally competitive. We accept students from all over the country. The only requirements are that you have never participated in SPUR before and you are not graduating in spring, this spring, so 2024. But yeah, so as long as you are falling within that, you are eligible to participate. We have projects, faculty are working on projects in various topics: health, science, humanities, fine arts, architecture and planning. So there's lots of opportunity to participate. It's a really fun event, as well as in the summer, on top of you doing your research, there's also program activities that you would be required to attend. So summer ed series, you would be required to attend those, as well as we have bi-weekly meetings. And like in those meetings, we do a lot of like professional development. We talk a lot about a lot of the different requirements of the program, as well as it's an opportunity to build community. So you can talk to other students in other fields. You know, you can talk about issues you're having or triumphs, anything like that. Like the community building is probably, I think, is one of the best parts of SPUR, as well as, oh, sorry, did you have a question?
So are you eligible to apply for this if you completed like an RW?
Yeah, thank you for that question. Yes, as well as summer ed series, you would be required to present your work at the Undergraduate Research Symposium at the end of in the summer, so that'd be August 1st, as well as, you know, it's not all just work. We do also have social programming as well. We partner across with other summer programs across the University of Utah. So we've had things like bowling, food truck wars, tie-dye. And one of the best parts of, other than, you know, the community building your network, there's always food. So if anything, you walk away with a free meal at the end of it. We are currently accepting all applications. January 28th is the deadline. So it is coming up, just keep in mind, as well as I'll say, we do have a workshop, student application workshop, January 15th, 2 to 3 p.m. via Zoom. If you need help with any part of the application, personal statement, getting letters of references, you know, how to make your application more competitive, we can definitely help you. If you go to our website, our.utah/SPUR, you can find the Zoom link registration, and totally encourage everyone to come. Any questions you may have. Yes, it would be separate. But yeah, as long as you are not graduating this coming spring and you haven't participated before, you are eligible to apply. Yes.
Progression, like if I were to be here to start this semester and I want to keep going and I apply for this, what if you let me that I can get accepted to keep going?
Right. So one of the major differences, that's a great question. Thank you for bringing that up. One of the major difference between something like UROP and SPUR, UROP is you are coming up, like you have a project. You have a faculty mentor that you are already working with. With SPUR, these faculty, they have their own ongoing projects, and they are looking for undergraduate students to help them and be a part of it. So that's the major difference. And if you go to our website, like I said, our.utah.edu/SPUR, you can look at all the current projects we have. And like I said, we have various topics. So definitely lots of exciting things. And one of the great things about this, you don't need prior research experience. You don't need to be like majoring in the same topic. So if you're in humanities and you see a project like data science, health science, and you're like, this is really great, I would love an opportunity to be a part of this, to learn more about it, that does not disqualify you. That does not make you less competitive.
Okay, so we also have scholarships. These are scholarships for students who have already completed 2 semesters of research. They maybe need a little bit more funding to continue the research with their mentor. So we have some donors. We have the D Foundation, Francis Family and Parent Fund, and we email these out to the students when these are available. 2 of them, well, we have the D Foundation in the fall, and then we have Francis and Parent in the spring semester. So keep these in mind, and you will receive emails from us when these are available to apply for. Parent Fund, yeah. The other 2, our donors have some specific qualifications, but our Parent Fund is just you've completed 2 semesters of research. It doesn't matter what discipline you're in. Yeah. And these have already been filled for the spring semester. So keep this in mind for fall. And if we get more donors, we add them as more. Yes, yep. We send them out to the eligible students who can apply for these. Yes, yep.
So I do, I can probably more check the emails regularly, but Cindy usually sends out an email about the scholarships. Cindy, when do you usually send, or Jennifer sends them? The Jennifer for this spring, when did you send the email?
So I think for spring semester, we sent it out in like late fall. We use email addresses. And so if you have some kind of other email that you like to use, please make sure that your email is getting directed to your Gmail or iCloud, but please do be sure to check your email addresses. Okay, so some more funding that we have available is our travel and small grants. And these are small amounts up to $500 that students can apply for. You can apply for one small grant and one travel grant, and it's to help to support your work. Whether it's you're traveling and you need airfare, you need food, you need registration. That would be some of the common uses for our travel grants. Or small grants are maybe you need some items in the lab that aren't provided by the mentor or the lab itself. So our travel grants are up to $500, small grants are up to $500, and this is for future purchases, future travel. So if you've already done it, we don't do reimbursements. And we look at these every month. So we look at these the beginning of every month. But so that means that the deadline is the previous month before, the last day of the previous month before. So if you need something for April or May, apply for it now. We'll review it. If you don't get it, we'll hold on to it until, the next month, but it's for future purchases.
How far in advance did you say?
Well, if you apply at least a couple months in advance, we have limited funding. So if the first round of decisions you're not selected, we'll hold on to your application for another month. So give it a couple months. I would suggest doing that in advance if you can do that. If you know like your travel plans and airfare, because we do ask for a budget. So if you were planning on traveling in February, you'd have to apply by January 31st. So you need to apply by January because January 31st would be the deadline for any travel that's in February.
For travel, differences for students who are accepted to explicit, because we're not going to know unless we actually have.
Yeah, so if you've been accepted, highly recommend seeing if there's funding from your mentor, from your department, from your colleges, and then also coming through our office. Any more questions about travel grants? Like I said, we review these every month. If there's a problem, we'll reach out to you. This is the way that the application is set up is you fill out your application and then you need to forward it on to your mentor and then the mentor needs to support it. So we have to have both the student part of it and your mentor part of it for it to be complete. If we don't have both of those, we don't even look at it.
How many times can you be funded with a travel grant if it is only once a semester? So if so, we get the $500, we cannot apply for them.
You can apply for one small and one travel for your career here. So it doesn't matter what month you apply. So we have the Undergraduate Research Scholar designation. This is something that you apply for when you're getting ready to graduate. This is a recognition that the university gives to students who have done research. There's only less than a handful of designations that go on your transcripts, and the Undergraduate Research Scholar one is one of them. So it appears on your transcripts. It looks good when you're applying for future, whatever you need for future graduate schools. And to get this, you need to have 2 semesters of research with a view of you mentor. This can be through UROP. This can be separately individual that you did outside of UROP. When you apply, if you didn't come through UROP, you will just need to have a verification from your mentor saying that you did a semester of research. So 2 semesters of research, you need to present at one of our symposiums that I talked about, and then also publish in our journal Range. We ask that you apply the semester you're going to graduate. So for this particular semester, spring only, because graduation is coming up. If you are graduating in spring, we have 2 deadlines. We have an early deadline of February 10th. What this early deadline is it will get your name printed in your college convocation program. You'll also get the designation on your transcripts, but because spring is when we have graduation, if you fulfill all these, you can, and you apply by February 10th, we can get your name. So you might be saying, oh, well, I haven't finished this. This is my 2nd semester of research. I haven't finished it yet. Or you're like, oh, I was planning on presenting in spring at the symposium. It hasn't come yet. I haven't fulfilled that. If you're graduating this semester and you want your name printed in the convocation program and you want to apply by February 10th, you will just have to register for the symposium, and then you'll have to submit something to our journal. And then what we do is your name will be printed in the convocation program as long as you apply by February 10th.
Are there any questions about that? No, yes, we'll talk about the journal in a minute.
How does it work with the BS?
So the BSMS, when you're done with your BS requirements, that's when you should apply. So if you miss that February 10th deadline, you don't care about your name getting printed in the convocation program, you just need to have applied by April 23rd. That's the last day of class. So you can either apply early, get your name printed in the convocation program, and also get the transcript on your designation, or you can just apply by the deadline and get the designation on your transcript. So now we have our undergraduate research journal. It's called it's Range. So this is a journal that we have available for all undergraduates on campus. It's open to any students doing any research in any college, any discipline. You can submit multiple entries. You can submit content and format that makes sense for your work. So it could be an abstract, it could be a full-length paper, it could be some images that you might have, it could be a like a write-up of the research, your process, and the your progress that you made. And we ask that you please review it by your faculty mentor. When you submit it, we are not going to review it as far as spell check and everything. So please make sure it gets reviewed by your mentor and then submit it to us. The next deadline is June 1st. And our last issue just went live. So you can find that on our website at our.utah.edu/range. This is a great resource for students who maybe want to see what other kind of research is happening on campus. You can read through a lot of the abstracts and the submissions from other students, and it also fulfills the requirement to get the URSD. So
Jennifer, myself, editor. So if you have questions, just directly to Jennifer.
Did you have another quick question though?
Can we submit for the research presentation if we submit publication, but it not accept?
Yes. So we accept all applications to the journal. However, if your mentor reaches out, because once you submit, your mentor will also be notified. If your mentor tells us, oh, I don't want this to be submitted yet, it's got some, privacy issues with it, then we would not be able to submit it. Or we would just, if that was the case, we would just have you update your journal entry. Yeah.
One of the things you really do want to work with your mentor on this, so you want to have them review it, because the worst is when a mentor says, please send it my way, I've not seen it, and then they take it back to us and they reject it. And that's the worst. There's nothing we can do at that point. We will not publish it. I would recommend having them take a look at it. If your mentor is also planning to publish data that you're working with them on in another journal, in a peer review journal, then you actually do have to have them take a look at it, and you have to be very sensitive to what you are submitting. We will publish anything, as it says here, from abstracts to full-length articles. Students have submitted their honors thesis to be published because there's no other outlet of circulation for it. It will get submitted to an honors office, no one will ever see it, right? Except for you and your committee. And so that's also a nice way for your work to have circulation. This is considered open access. So what that means is that you have the rights as the author to have the content republished elsewhere with proper attribution. And that is it. So you can literally take the same paragraph that you submitted here and have it reappear. We will not chase you and tell you to remove it from a future publication. But a journal may actually, and a book publisher may have issues with that. So that's why you need to kind of really work with your mentor if there's multiple outlets you are publishing things in.
So if you want the designation for the spring, do you need to submit to the journal by February 10th?
Yes. So if you want, just to repeat, if anybody online didn't hear us, if you want to submit to the URSD, do you need to submit to the journal first? Yes. I know it's kind of early. So what you can do is you can submit a rough draft. If that's what you have, you can submit an abstract. And then if you need to update that before the journal's deadline of June 1st, you can do that. Yeah, sometimes it is a little bit early to get that URSD early deadline. But like I said, maybe you just want to submit your abstract first and then submit the paper in a couple weeks later, as long as you just get it in before the deadlines.
But remember to resubmit if you plan to resubmit something. Otherwise, we're literally going to send you before it goes public. We send all the contributors of how it looks. And then that's your only time to do like these are changes, and we will not do big edits and all of that. It's just that if you have an error or if you submitted the wrong thing, that will give us time.
Yeah. So please just have more than
4 eyes look at it before you submit it to us. Okay. So we had talked a little bit earlier about our undergraduate research leaders. This is a program that we have. We have like student ambassadors. Currently we have about 5 students, and we're getting ready to hire for, the application process is closed. So this is just to make you aware of this, maybe if this is something you want to do in the future. So our leaders work directly with our office, and they do stuff with our students. This is they make $15 an hour, and they work about an average of 5 to 10 hours a week. They do outreach activities. We do tabling. They help us with our social media, student recruitment. We do a lot of peer advising. They have peer advising time. So if you feel like you want to just talk to another student, these leaders are students who have come through our program, and they've pretty much done everything that we have to offer. So they're very experienced, and they're, a wealth of knowledge. So if you have any questions, personal work related that has to do with your research, they're all, they've done research, they're currently in research, and they can answer your questions. And they review our small grants, and then they collaborate, with our office, and they help us with all of our events. So Jennifer is the one who is over the leaders program right now. So keep this in mind. If it's something that you're going to be interested in next year, we'll send out emails and give more information on that. We have an IRB lab. So anybody who needs to do, if you're doing any kind of human subject research and you're getting ready to start the IRB process, or maybe you just have some questions, maybe your mentor doesn't know, we have a in-person IRB lab that's going to be every Wednesday from 9 to 11. I don't think we have the location just yet. We will definitely send this out to everybody to give you more information about that. In the meantime, if you have questions about the IRB lab, you can contact us. But one of our undergraduate research leaders, Ava, is the one who will be running these labs. Ava is very knowledgeable and works with people, the IRB office on campus. And so this is a great resource for you if you have any questions related to IRB. If you're starting the process, if you're in the middle of the process, if you have questions with the process, this is a great resource. And there's always snacks there, so. And Ava is very nice and friendly to work with. We also have Funding Fridays. This is an open time, an open Zoom call or an open Zoom meeting that we have every Friday from 2 to 3 p.m. If you have any questions at all, you're always welcome to email our office. But we have either a staff member or a leader available online to answer any questions regarding any of the funding that we've talked about, or any funding that if you just have any questions really, every Friday during fall semester, 11 to 12. And then we have the Monson Prize. So this is, we have a donor who gives some money to a student who can write their own individual paper on student change or on social change. We've been doing this for years and years and years and years. We have this donor who loves to provide money to students who can write a paper. It's usually an original paper, about 5 to 20 pages in length. I don't have the deadline on here. It's usually towards the end of the semester. So this is something else that we will also be sending out information with more details. The student who is selected, like I said, they get to come to our March 1st. Okay, we'll get this information sent out to you. The deadline is going to be March 1st. The student gets recognized at our awards luncheon. The student usually gets to go to lunch with the donor, and then you get a nice check. And that is the end of our presentation. So if anybody has any questions, you're welcome to come up afterwards. Thank you everyone who is on remote. If you have any questions, please contact our office. We're going to stop recording, and we hope you all have a great semester, and please let us know if you have any issues or questions. And thanks for coming and joining us.